Hello, once again, the traders and potential traders to be. This is actually my third video, of course. So today I would love us to touch a bit on fundamental analysis, of course. Now, what is fundamental analysis? Now, fundamental analysis is anything you hear in form of news, be it on TV, be it on online, or be it on the newspaper. Okay. Now I want us to look at these two examples that can help us more on to what fundamental analysis is. Now, for example, let's take the Apple company. I'm sure we all know Apple. Okay. Now, this year, I'm sure around September, around that month, we're expecting the new iPhone, probably iPhone 8, because we're currently on the iPhone 7. So let's say the CEO of Apple's Tim Cook, many of you know him, announces on media to say, look, you know what? We're not bringing the iPhone 8. We would only probably bring it or do it at a later time or even next year. Now, with this kind of an update, what do you think will happen to the Apple stock prices? Will it rise or will it fall? Of course, this is negative news, and of course, the Apple stock price will definitely start falling. Now, this is fundamental analysis. Okay, or let's say if the president of Botswana says, look, from next week, we're increasing salaries of everyone in Botswana, and about 5,000 new job posts will be available in the country. Now, what do you think is going to happen to the Pula? Do you think it's going to rise or do you think it's going to fall? Of course, this is positive news to the Pula, and of course, the Pula will start rising. Now, this way traders will now come in and now trade on the Botswana currency as an example. And this is basically fundamental analysis. Okay. Now, without wasting time, I do want us to also have a trading session together. We are going to trade, and I'm looking to making only 7 successful trades with, of course, safety levels. We've got about 7 safety levels, and our first safety level being 45 as our first investment, of course. Now, before that, I wanted to discuss the strategy, of course. As you can see, it does require a large amount of capital, of course, but this again equals to high chances of success in this trading plan. And of course, less low risk, as you have seen. Now, the safety levels, we need them as many as possible, okay? Of course, combining them with the indicators that we're going to use, and of course our money management system, and not forgetting to make again a professional technical analysis. This is very, very important and comes down to now your risk management. Practice makes perfect. Here you need to practice a lot. You need to practice, and keep practicing. This is very important. You see, when an athlete starts to join real competitions, he doesn't stop training. He continues, same mindset, being hungry, and you have the potential to grow your capital without doubt. Okay, now I'll be trading daily, of course. I'll be recording each session from a daily basis, and we are looking again to make our potential target profit of €200 and up to 7 successful trades. Because if we get 7 successful trades, we're actually going to make €210. Okay, now our start off balance of the day, Tuesday the 6th of June, as you can see there, is 23,139 and 35 euros. Okay, by end of our 7 successful trades that we're about to do, we're expecting to have profit of plus €210. Okay, now we begin. I'll be going to my trading platform, of course, And of course, like I said during my past videos, I'll be getting signals from external providers, and I will be back with you shortly. And of course, without wasting time, I'm back. I'm looking to buy the Canadian dollar with, of course, with our first safe level 45. I'm buying, and of course preparing our next safety level, which is 116 euro. Now let's see what happens. Always remember the distance between your loss and profit. Currently we're in profit with plus 0.3 pips with our time 44 seconds left. Now, of course, for those who still don't know what pips is price interest point. Okay, currently we are in profit, looks good. But let's see what happens. Anything can happen in the last few seconds, but currently we seem to be on a good the distance between our loss and profit is quite big, 1.3 pips. Okay, we've got about 3 seconds left. Okay, we're in profit. That was our first successful trade of the day. We write that down and of course go back to our first safety level. Now we need to write that down, first successful trade of the day. Good. Now I'm going to again to look for another potential signal, and I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, still with the Canadian dollar and the Japanese yen, I'm still looking to buy. I'm buying, of course, with our first safety level. Okay, once that is processed, of course, we prepare our second safety level, which is 116. Very important. Okay. Now again, another thing, remember the distance between your profit and loss. Of course, and the time, every second counts with this strategy. Remember, always remember. Now we wait, let's see what happens, but of course we might need our second safety level, we might not need it. Okay, looks like I'm gonna need to buy again, of course, in the next 4. Okay, I'm buying. I've bought, and of course prepare our next safety level, which is 300. Of course, we might need it, we might not need it, but just prepare just in case. Currently we're in profit, it's good, but you never know what happens. Of course, the market might not go in your favor, but with this strategy we're gonna outsmart it. Don't worry, I'll continue to show you how. Do not worry at all. There's a lot of potential in this strategy. Very, especially if you make a professional analysis, you will definitely kill it. You see the difference. Look at how much profit I'm in. Very nice. 3.1 pips. That's very good. Of course, successful trade of the day. Another successful trade of the day, of course. So we write that down. Remember, we're only looking for 7 successful trades to make only 210 euro using this strategy. 210 euro. That's only 2,343 Pula, of course, for those in Botswana, where I am. Of course, I need to get back to the charts and look for another potential signal. And of course, I'll be looking for those signals with external providers, and I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, I'm looking to sell on the Euro British Pound. I'm selling. Of course, there we go. Of course, prepare our second safety level. We might need it, we might not need it, but we just have to prepare it. Remember the strategy. It's got strict rules that we need to follow, otherwise we might make a big mistake and disappoint ourselves. So again, patience and focus. You really need to focus here. Very, very deep concentration that is required here. Of course, we're currently in profit, currently in a loss now, but let's see what happens in the next. Remember our trades every 60 seconds. Of course, it's the best time frame for this strategy. Of course, we're looking to buy, sell every 60 seconds, but of course, looks like we're in profit. There we go. Of course, back to our first safe level, and of course right down, that's our third successful trade of the day. Now I'll be back with you shortly, as I need to go and look for another potential signal. I'm still looking to sell again on the euro. Of course, there we go. Of course, prepare the next safety level, which is 116. Of course, and of course, to keep our eyes on the time and the distance to see whether we're in profit or we're in loss. Of course, those are the two major things to look at here with this strategy. Currently in profit, looks good, but you never know. You can make a loss within just a second. Just a second. That is why our safety levels are here, and are here to make us, of course, recover our investments and potentially make profit on top of that again. Of course, we are in profit. I'm making good analysis here, as you can see. And of course, back to our first safety level and write that down. That's our first successful trade of the day. Now we're looking to only make 3 more to potentially make our target profit and of course our target balance of the day. Now I'll be going back to my charts to look for a potential signal, and I'll be back shortly. Okay, I'm still looking to buy again once more from the Canadian dollar and the Japanese yen. Of course, I'm buying. There we go. Processing. Then of course our next safety level 116. Of course, we are looking to potentially make our 5th successful trade of the day so far. Let's see what happens in the next 47 seconds. Remember, we're trading options here with a time frame of 60 seconds, as it works very well with this killer strategy. There we go. Looks good. These trades, in fact, are based on technical analysis, and it looks like making very, very, very good technical analysis. This is very, very important. Very important for you to be successful in this type of trading, guys. We are completely in profit, no doubt. There we go. Back to our first safety level, and we write this down. This is our 5th successful trade. So we're looking to make only 2 more successful trades for the day, okay? And we'll be done for the day when it comes to trading, okay? And I'm gonna look for another potential signal, and I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, I'm back. Looking to sell on the Australian dollar. Remember, guys, I've told you before, this asset is very volatile, as it may go up or down with very, very high pips. As you can see what's happening right now, it's very volatile, in and out, in and out, in and out, remember. Okay, so of course I'll be preparing my next safety level, of course, and always focus on the distance here to see whether in loss or profit, and of course the time. But my next safety level is already, just in case we may need it, we may not need it. But we're currently in profit, in and out. Like I said, this asset, Australian dollar stroke USD, it's very volatile. Same with the NZD stroke USD, they are very volatile. Okay, like you can see here, no loss, no profit, of course, with our first safety level. But here what you would normally do is to go back to your first safety level. Since I was currently on the 45, which is our first safety level, I'll still sell again with the same safety level, and let's see what happens. But of course, prepare our next safety level, which is our second safety level. Of course, we are looking to potentially make our 6th successful trade of the day so far, so we can meet our target profit for the day. We've got about 20 seconds left, of course, very important. And of course, about almost 10 seconds left. And let's see what happens. We might need our second safety level, we might not need it, but it looks like we're gonna need it here. Of course, I'm selling again with our second safety level, of course, and preparing our third safety level, which is 300 euro, of course. Now remember the timing here, and remember this kind of asset, like I said, even if you do make proper technical analysis, this one is very tricky, but we can still outsmart it. But of course, it looks like I have to sell again with our third safety level, of course, in the next 8 seconds, of course. But let's see what happens. I'm selling, of course, and of course preparing our fourth safety level, which is 776, of course. We may need it, we may not need it, but we just have to prepare it. But it looks like I have to sell again here, of course. And I'm selling. Okay, there we go. And of course preparing my fifth safety level, of course, 2008 euro. We may need it, we may not need it, but we just have to prepare it, of course. We've got almost 12 seconds left. We might need to sell again here, we might not need to sell here, but we'll see what happens in the next 6 seconds. Okay, I'm selling again. And of course prepare my next safety level, which is 5195. This is our 6th safety level. Of course, it looks like it's starting to fall now. But of course, we might need to apply that safety level, and just in case, we've got roughly 10 seconds left. Let's see what happens. Of course. Now, like I said here, we're gonna quickly buy. Remember, you repeat, no loss, no profit. So we're gonna repeat, of course, the 6th safety level, which is 2008. Very, very important. And still prepare our 6th safety level. Of course, here we might need to sell again, but like it looks. I'm selling. And of course, let's see what happens here. And of course, prepare our next safety level, which is 13,442. But like I said, the market may retract sometimes, but we just give it enough time to get back to normal. And remember, this asset, like I said, with all my first two videos, I've always mentioned that this one is very, very volatile and should trade very cautiously with it. But it looks like we're going to be in profit. Yeah, looks good. We're in profit. And of course, going back to our first safety level of 45 finally. Of course, now we write that down. That's actually our 6th successful trade of the day so far, and so we are potentially looking to make our last successful trade of the day before we conclude this webinar. I'm looking to, okay, let me look for another potential signal and I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, looking to sell the Euro JPY, of course, with our first safety level. Of course, I'm selling, and of course preparing our next safety level. Of course, let's see what happens. Okay, currently in profit. The distance looks very good, of course, and our time there 40 seconds. Now let's see what happens. Okay, currently we're in good profit, and looks like we might not need our second safety level, of course. And there we go, 7 successful trades of the day based on professional technical analysis, of course, with this killer strategy. Like I said, this one you can outsmart the system. Now we take note of our balance. Now it's 23,613. We write it down here, 23,163.05. 3.83. 3.83. Okay, if you do this, we just see something here. 2361 613, sorry. Of course, there we go. We have actually passed our target profit of 200 euro. You have actually made 472 and 48 euro. Let's convert that to Pula. That's 474.48. That's actually 5,295 Pula 55 tebe. If actually we round this off to 5,200 Pula on a single day times 5, that's Monday to Friday, since the markets are open 5 days a week. Okay, you'll be actually making 26,000 Pula a week, and then we multiply that by 4 weeks. We normally have 4 weeks in a month. That's 104,000 Pula in a month. That's the potential behind the strategy. And of course, your investment, your capital, the higher capital, the less risk, and the potential to make more. Okay, now on my next webinar, of course, I want to touch on a few things, like people. I've met a number of people around here, my friends in my country in Botswana, and they seem to say forex trading is very hard, especially when you are inexperienced. Now I want to talk about it in my next video, of course. Now this question seems to be asked by everyone, and they feel they are not ready for actually taking part in trading, and clearly it shows this lack of clear view about trading in the forex market. Now this is what I have to say: if you want to reach your trading goals, then you need to plan your success, and this is what I'm going to talk about in the next video. Now to conclude this video, of course, when I started this webinar, I did touch on fundamental analysis. I did explain. Now I wanted to conclude by talking about why I prefer trading actually on technical analysis as compared to fundamental analysis. Now, when it comes to focus under fundamental analysis, you actually be looking at quantitative and qualitative factors, of course, and when it comes to technical analysis, your focus is on price and volume. Now, when it comes to data, under fundamental analysis, you actually be looking at financial statements, of course, and when it comes to technical analysis, you'll be just looking at your charts. That is why I kept on saying, I'll be back with you shortly. I need to go to my charts and look for potential signals. Okay. Now, the time with fundamental analysis, it's long term. You're looking to make profits with long term. It could take months, it could take years. But with technical analysis, it's short term. You can make your profits within short period of time. And of course, your goal when it comes to fundamental analysis, you'll be investing, because now this is a long term. Now with technical analysis, you actually be trading and getting your results right there. Now again, with fundamental analysis, it is a method preferred by those with long-term investments in mind. Like I've said, the main focus is whether the worth of stock is likely to fall or climb. And then the analysis begins with the financial records of the company, revenue and profits, of course, assets and liabilities. Now those are thoroughly examined to understand the company's worth. And then on the opposite end, when it comes to technical analysis, what happens is a technical analysis subscribes to completely different school of thought. Here the focus is on two main factors, which is price and volume. Now the investor uses tools like the charts and indicators, like I've been doing, to spot market patterns which should, according to theory, reoccur. Now this is better for short-term trades, and the goal here is to make quicker, or rather bigger bucks, quick cash. Okay, so I'm gonna end here for the day, and thank you for watching. And always take note the risk warning. Remember, trading exchange, or rather trading forex exchange, carries a high risk of level to your capital due to the volatility of the underlying market, and these products may not be suitable for all investors. Therefore, I always advise that you understand the risks, because these are very high risks that you're dealing with here, and of course high return at the same time. So you need to, before deciding to start trading forex exchange, you need to carefully consider your investment objectives, the level of experience, and of course your risk appetite. And this video, of course, is just for educational purposes and does not carry any advice. And of course, any opinions, news, research, analysis, prices, or other information contained on this website or this video is provided as general market commentary and does not constitute investment advice. We will not accept any liability or any loss or damage, including without limitation to any loss of profit, which may arise directly or indirectly from use of or reliance on such information. There are risks associated with utilizing an internet-based deal execution trading system, including but not limited to the field of hardware, software, and of course internet connection. Thank you all for watching this video, and see you in the next video. Bye for now.